of people don't usually equate beginner guitar with Jimi Hendrix. I personally think that Jimi Hendrix is like the best guitar player who has ever lived, and one of the main reasons that I started playing guitar personally. So I really think that it's important to start playing in the general idea of what you want to sound like end goal. Even though maybe you're just starting out, or maybe you haven't been playing long, or maybe you've been playing for a while and haven't really taken, that next step to try to break into something that sounds a little more Hendrix-like. It's never too early to get started thinking about how Jimi kind of thinks and how he started composing his songs. So basically what he was doing the entire time is he was very influenced by the blues. So the very first thing we have to do is understand blues music structure, and that's the 12-bar blues. Okay. So we've got our E7 1 chord, our A7 4 chord, and our B7 5 chord. So now let's just kind of plug them into the formula, all downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 2, 3 to the 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, another bar, 2 bars of the 1 chord, E7, and 2, 2, 3, 4, 1 bar of the 5 chord, a bar of the 4 chord, and then a bar of the 1 chord, 2 bars of the 1 chord to end. Okay, so those are just the chords in a traditional 12-bar blues. So that's just the very basic structure of what we're doing. One thing I would encourage you to do, if, again, those chord changes are kind of difficult, maybe just work on one. Just play the 1 chord as an E7 chord, 1, 2. And then when you switch to the 4 chord, just do like power chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, back to E. And then again, if that B power chord is, getting that stretch in is still too much, just hit the single note 4 times, then open the A string, and then go back to the E7 chord. So, again, I'm spending a lot of time on the structure of it and just doing it in different shapes and different keys because I think it is so important. Now, what I want to do is talk a little bit about variations of this, okay? Even though most blues music is rooted in the 12-bar blues, a lot of the best songs take some of these concepts that we talked about and then make slight little tweaks to them, okay? I think one of the more common ones that we do, and again, let's go through it again. The 12-bar blues, 4 bars of 1, 2 bars of 4, 2 bars of 1, a bar of 5, a bar of 4, and 2 bars of 1. I think the most common way that we can change that is let's take those last 2 bars of 1, make it 1 bar of 1 and 1 bar of 5, okay? So now we're going to go back to the chords we used in the first one. And again, I'm just going to use chords in this way, just because it might drive some of the non-beginners absolutely crazy if we're always just doing single notes. But always know that you can replace a chord with a single note. Just take the root note of that chord. So if I'm playing an E7, and you're still kind of working on just a single E string, that's totally fine. Go at your own pace, but I'm going to play an E7 chord. If we go through this, 4 bars of E7, we'll skip ahead. Then 2 bars of A7, 2 bars of E7. Now the last 4 bars of this, the first time we talked about it was 1 bar of the 5 chord, a bar of the 4 chord, and 2 bars of the 1 chord. Now the thing that can be confusing about that is when we end a phrase with 2 bars of the 1 chord and start again with 4 bars of the 1 chord, that ends up being 6 consecutive bars if you kind of see it as an overlap. Now that can be confusing when you're counting it, right? So one thing we can do is add a little bit of tension by going back to that 5 chord on the last bar, the 12th bar of the progression. So instead of B, A, E, and E, we have B,